Welcome back, Boston Celtics fans, to another incredibly massive and deeply analytical episode right here on the channel where we completely break down the absolute most important storylines, tactical adjustments, and breaking news surrounding our favorite basketball team as we gear up for what promises to be a legendary and unforgettable postseason run. Today, we have an incredibly fascinating and highly retrospective topic to discuss regarding the front office brilliance of Brad Stevens and how a highly controversial trade made a few months ago looks completely different today thanks to the phenomenal return of our franchise superstar Jayson Tatum. Let us set the stage by looking at exactly where the Boston Celtics stand right now. Jayson Tatum's incredible level of elite play over the last month has made it remarkably easy for absolutely everyone in the national media and the passionate fan base to completely forget that he is literally currently coming off a devastating Achilles tendon tear, which is historically viewed as a massive career-altering injury in the professional sports world. When the Boston Celtics star forward initially returned to the active roster, he understandably looked physically limited at first, trying to find his legs and his competitive rhythm. But with absolutely each and every passing basketball game, it is becoming glaringly clear to the rest of the league that hardly anything is physically holding him back outside of simply needing more high-speed game repetitions. The undeniable reality is that the Boston Celtics have gone an absolutely staggering 12-2 since Jayson Tatum officially got back on the basketball court. Because of that completely dominant winning streak, it has somehow already become a very distant and fuzzy memory that the Boston front office controversially traded away young electric scorer Anfernee Simons, a highly polarizing trade that absolutely did not sit well with large portions of the fan base when it first officially happened exactly 2 months ago. And when you factor in the highly unfortunate reality that veteran center Nikola Vucevic has unexpectedly spent a very good chunk of his brief Celtics tenure sitting uncomfortably on the shelf with an injury, which is absolutely not his fault. As everyone clearly knows, it is not like the Boston organization has fully and immediately reaped all the massive on-court rewards from executing this specific trade. However, Jayson Tatum's triumphant and spectacular return to MVP form has brilliantly made absolutely everyone quickly forget all about the departure of Ant Simons. Now we have to be completely fair in our historical assessment of Simons' time in a green uniform. He absolutely did not leave the very best first impression when he originally arrived in Boston, struggling initially to fit into the complex offensive system. But once he finally figured himself out and learned exactly where his specific spots were on the floor, he quickly won over the vast majority of the passionate fan base with his incredible scoring explosions. The Celtics organization actually did a very solid and highly commendable job maintaining their elite status in the Eastern Conference standings during the specific tricky gap period between exactly when they officially traded Simons away and exactly when Tatum finally returned to the hardwood, which was roughly about a month, give or take a few days. But the absolute core reason that everyone has pretty much entirely forgotten about the painful departure of Anfernee Simons is quite simply the brilliant play of Jayson Tatum, because Tatum immediately stepped onto the floor and seamlessly took what would have effectively been Simons' crucial rotation minutes. Right here in the very middle of this massive retrospective breakdown of the Celtics' masterful front office strategy, if you are truly enjoying our daily deep dives into the tactical side of the Boston Celtics, and you want to stay completely updated on all the absolute best basketball coverage anywhere on the internet, please take a quick second right now to passionately hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video, because your continuous daily support is exactly what allows this channel to keep growing and bringing you the most detailed basketball analysis available on the entire platform. Getting right back into the highly calculated and brilliant machinations of the Boston front office, we need to deeply analyze exactly what that specific trade meant at the time. The highly debated Anfernee Simons trade was arguably the absolute first major public hint to the entire basketball world that Jayson Tatum's highly anticipated physical return to the floor was rapidly approaching. The Boston front office undeniably traded Simons away in part to heavily help maneuver their incredibly complex salary cap situation under the highly restrictive new collective bargaining agreement. But it is honestly pretty easy for any seasoned basketball analyst to read the tactical tea leaves well beyond just the strict financial implications. With a fully healthy Jayson Tatum clearly sitting right on the verge of returning to the active floor to play massive heavy minutes, someone on the active roster was inevitably going to get their nightly playing time severely slashed, and it was pretty logical for Brad Stevens and the coaching staff to mathematically conclude that Simons was the highly likely candidate to lose his spot in the primary rotation. This mathematical conclusion was absolutely not because Simons was a bad basketball player by any stretch of the imagination. but rather because of two highly specific structural reasons. The first massive reason is that the relentlessly energetic Peyton Pritchard has proven time and time again that he can absolutely play the exact same microwave scoring role that Simons had to absolute perfection. And honestly, Pritchard has confidently done so both before Simons arrived and long after he departed the franchise. The second highly crucial reason is that the Boston Celtics organization fundamentally values their absolutely amazing and versatile two-way wing depth over almost everything else. Having multiple elite defensive wings who can seamlessly switch defensive assignments across all 5 positions on the floor simply possesses vastly more intrinsic value in a grueling 7-game playoff series than having a pure offensive microwave scorer, despite exactly how incredibly visually impressive and statistically loud Ant was whenever he took the floor and got insanely hot from beyond the arc. Despite all of his undeniable individual progress and his incredible scoring flashes, Simons was unfortunately still Boston's absolute most expendable rotation player when you deeply analyze the complex structural needs of a championship contending roster. So when that shocking trade finally happened at the deadline, that was the absolute first massive breadcrumb suggesting to everyone that Tatum was indeed incredibly close to returning to his rightful throne. Looking back right now with the clear benefit of hindsight, it is entirely fair to confidently say that the Boston Celtics front office's firm internal belief that Jayson Tatum would absolutely not only effortlessly make up for Simons' sudden offensive departure, but also successfully make the entire team significantly better than ever at the absolute best possible time of the year, was entirely the absolute right bet to mathematically make. It truly is a slight shame on a purely entertainment level because the rapid ascension of Anfernee Simons was a genuinely great and highly compelling basketball story, and many dedicated fans were eagerly looking forward to seeing exactly what he and a fully healthy Jayson Tatum would structurally look like sharing the exact same offensive floor together. At the exact same time, however, the absolute undeniable reality is that seeing the Boston Celtics completely peaking at the absolute right time playing elite dominant defensive basketball is exactly what the passionate fans desperately want to see more than absolutely anything else in the entire world. If reaching that absolute championship peak meant having to make the highly difficult business decision of trading away Anfernee Simons, well, then so be it, because Banner 19 is the absolute only acceptable goal in the city of Boston.